following episode contains explicit content. You've been warned.
But you don't have to go, oh my God, to the frog sky!
Yeah, because people don't tune into that.
Everybody wants to be something they're not and have shit they ain't got. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just be nice. You don't have to be that guy. Show some respect. Just be a person. Love one another.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Brain Snacks with Jaxon and Max.
What's up?
So what's going on in the world that tickled your mind this week, Mr. Jackson?
All right, so NPR, right? We got to set the stage here. We're on NPR.
NPR.
Which, if
Jesus.
you're not familiar, it's National Public Radio. You should never go on there.
Oh no, you should totally listen to any of their podcasts because you want to fall asleep while driving.
Yes.
They will put you to sleep.
Yes, they will. And the topic of this article is what got me for a few different reasons. And it's called quiet quitting. People are quiet quitting their jobs, which is different somehow in the twisted minds of NPR than just the way it's always been. For people who aren't passionate at a dead-end job to just stop doing anything extra or giving a half of a fuck about the thing they're doing. But
so
it's gotten...
this isn't actually quitting. They're still showing up to work. They're not quitting their job.
No, they're not quitting their job.
And they're not actively trying to get fired.
No, it's Max. What you don't understand about it, Max, what you don't understand is it's called quiet quitting, it's a thing.
Okay,
it's a thing.
You have to do the upspeak if you're gonna talk. If you're gonna mansplain this to me. If you're gonna woke-splain this to me.
That's not mansplaining.
It's a woke-splanation.
It's
a woke-splanation.
But the thing I found interesting about it, as I said, was that I find it remarkably fascinating how we've come to rebrand the way that every low-level job. I mean, I say every. I don't mean that completely, absolutely, but on the whole, I mean, think of a fast food joint and a person's. Think of this. I've seen this a million times over. I know people have too. You're sitting there in a sticky booth, eating a fucking cheeseburger out of a wrapper, and you see out of the corner of your eye an employee sweeping like they're a zombie, sweeping the floor, but not really sweeping the floor. That's what I think of quiet quitting. It's like I'm doing the motions, like it's almost like they're becoming like an NPC in the game.
Non-playable character for those of you that aren't into games.
I'm not into games, but I do know that. So,
some people don't know what NPC is. So,
I
just clarify.
I'm gonna go on a quick tangent, by the way. But speaking of NPCs, because I had a real world encounter with a quiet quitter, I presume, and it's at the apartment complex that I live at. I had been, my lease is up for renewal this month. And about 2 months ago, I had them send me the form to renew online.
Yeah.
And they said I had like a month to do it. And being the piece of shit I am, I waited the whole month, didn't ever do it. Was up in the air. Do I want to move back in with mom? Do I want to do that? Like, screw this, whatever.
Yeah.
And long story short, it expired. The link expired. So I had to get a new one sent, which no problem. I called them up, same way. And I spoke to this guy that works in the office over here, and that fluff of like, oh, hold on a second, let me look it up real quick. Oh, just give me a second, sir. Just blah blah blah. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. My supervisor's not in right now. She had a family emergency. Blah blah blah. That kind of shit. Yeah, which I get it. I mean, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Well, this happens. I have to call about 3 or 4 times, and I never get the fucking link. and it's always because of a family emergency or something. So I eventually just went in the office and encountered this guy, and I recognized his voice. I knew it was him, and he's dressed to the nines. He looks the part, looks like a leasing agent or whatever, and I mean, he looks awesome. Probably gay. That's irrelevant. And he, I proposed the same thing. Hey, I live in Unit 1905, by the way, and I'm trying to renew.
Now we just have to figure out exactly which apartment complex this is.
Yes. So bleep that. So I'm trying to renew my lease, and I need the form sent. He said, "Okay, well, if you could just come back this afternoon." And I mean, I looked at this motherfucker sideways. I'm like, really? What? Okay, whatever. So I came back. And spoke to the woman of power in the office, the manager, and she says, "This is a long story, but she says,
bring it on."
She says, "Give me about 5 minutes, and I'll have it sent over." And I was like, and this is over the course of like a month almost of me trying to get this 5 minute thing done. And I'm like, and he's sitting there in shame on his phone in the same office, and I'm like, really? Like, you should have just told me whenever I called the first time that you weren't a real person.
Okay,
I'm an NPC. You're going to have to come into the office, and you're going to have to deliver the sentence from your lips to her ears. I can't do it. I'm here every day, but I can't do that. That's not in my description. So quiet quitter, maybe.
Well, that sounds just like another level. That's not. I wouldn't even categorize that as quiet quitting in the context that you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Because this person had to put forth a lot of effort in order to completely avoid the issue.
Yeah.
So by putting you off and putting you off and putting you off, all that time stacked on top of each other will total more time than it would have taken him to just send you a fucking link.
He did more work. More work. So maybe he's not in that category, but that's just what I thought about, because I mean, that right there is just like, what the fuck? Like, and I think that's probably more in line with how things actually are. Everything's kind of a facade. It just kind of looks like a business, but really inside they're just kind of rocks. There's rocks in the head.
We're all dead. Just dead inside.
Yeah. So anyway, so NPR.
I think the rebranding of a lot of things, like they're just trying to normalize it with new hip terminology. And that's what a lot of wokeism is, but it's not just wokeism. It's just civilized culture in general. We always want to categorize something as something new, like PTSD, like in the last, since the Iraq, Afghanistan wars, PTSD has been like the new buzzword for people that have, again, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
Like that's a real thing, but it was miscategorized way back in the day. They called it shell shock back in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Vietnam, there was another term for it, which it wasn't shell shock. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's new terminology that comes out like every other generation, it seems like. And that's okay. But to redefine it and to miscategorize this by calling it quitting, just call them look, there's not a rash of quiet quitting going on. There's just a rash of lazy fucking people out there that don't give a fuck about their job because they feel like their job isn't going to they're not going to go anywhere in life.
Right. And they might be right. You know what I mean? Like chances are because I think it's also connected to the whole, resurgence or the new popularization of like mindfulness and meditation and all that shit and taking care of your mental health. Like now we as a country have acknowledged that we have minds and all that stuff. So people are like maybe having a moment of clarity and being like, oh my God, what am I doing in my life? And then they start to prioritize the home life a little more, start taking bubble baths and shit. And they're like, well, my job is kind of, soulless, and I'm not really, it's a dead end. So, but there's that extra, there's more to this equation than just continuing to go to the job that you've already found out, you got a couple options, but I don't think quiet quitting is a sustainable option. Obviously, I mean, how are we gonna? I mean, how is anything gonna happen?
Well, there's not going to be much innovation if that's just people are just showing up and going through the motions to collect a paycheck.
Right.
But I mean, honestly, again, they're just it's not that they're miscategorizing it. They're just rebranding. Again, basically, I'm going to say 75% of the coworkers and employees that I've had or worked with. I mean, there are people that just don't give a fuck. They just want to collect. They want that easy paycheck. And that's just the mentality of some people. And that's because we live in a very entitled society now.
Yeah.
You don't feel like everybody feels like they're owed something, and they don't feel they have to work for it or innovate for it or be uniquely creative to accomplish a task anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And again, that is not a categorization of like all millennials or all Zoomers.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's pretty fair though. I mean, it's pretty fair. That's kind of, I think, where we are as a society. At least on the front side. I mean, I think there's obviously standouts and gems, and
oh yeah.
The thing about it is that I don't think we realize how fleeting everything is, and we're going to be paved over and forgotten about, right? I mean, no shit. Like most,
we're leaving our mark with this podcast.
Well, this
podcast will live on forever.
Well,
the RSS feed will live on forever.
Well, that's the idea, right? And that's the way people live forever. That's the whole thing. The people that you know about, they weren't the only fucking people around. There was several, millions of other people that just died and are under a fucking road. And who cares? Well,
I mean, that's how you get a poltergeist movie, when you build a condominium community on top of an Indian burial ground. Then you get poltergeist.
Right. I think there's a lot of freedom in that, though, in that idea of like, hey, I might think it's a big deal, but that might be just how I feel, and maybe there's more that I need to, consider, about my existence in my life than just my job, like obviously. So I don't know. Quiet quitting. I think it's
quiet quitting it's a term coined by a lot of the wokeism and the wokesters. But it's
not a thing.
It's a rebranding of basically just a lazy employee that shows up to collect his paycheck.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Because they're not actually quitting.
Yeah,
and they're not actively trying to get fired because they'll. And I mentioned this off camera. Office Space was a great movie. Cubicles, data entry. It's a movie from the 90s. But I swear, the listeners, you guys, definitely go watch Office Space if you've never seen it. Jaxon, dude, find it on Amazon, find it on Netflix, wherever you can find it. It's worth the $2.99 to rent it.
Yeah, is it anything like The Office? Like that type of that type of
it is a dry-ish humor, but it's just a great movie. It's funny, it's quirky. And it's very much about that quiet quitting mindset.
Yeah.
Again, it's a rebrand of just people just going through the motions, trying to not just do enough to not get fired.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It makes me sad for people. It really does. I mean, and I'm not coming from a high place. I'm just saying it just seems like you a scramble to arrive at some kind of conclusion about it. And it's an open-ended thing. I mean, your future is just always kind of open-ended. So don't try to make that a thing. Don't make that a thing in your life. Like don't put white lights around something that's inherently dull. It's dull.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we say it all the time. Find something that can hold your attention and that you're interested in and that gives you some sense of fulfillment, and then pursue that. If you still have to work a regular, again, quote unquote 9 to 5 on the side, just work that work that dead end soul crushing job to further your actual passions.
Yeah.
But don't just show up expecting to get a paycheck. Try to excel and exceed in that other, again, boring job, so that maybe you can move up the ladder, save up enough money to where you can make this passion, turn that into an actual entrepreneurial venture.
Of course. I mean, there it is. Money.
Just saying.
That's money.
It's an option.
Yeah. Always is.
Okay, so quiet quitting, NPR. Again, if you want to be bored to death and hear a bunch of propaganda, NPR, any of their podcasts. I mean, if you really want to fall asleep, try to read any of their articles. So moving right along, I got some deep state situations.
Oh, gosh.
We got Alex Jones back in the news ever since January 6th. They've been just trying to crush anybody that's associated with Donald Trump. And again, we've established we don't fucking care. What we do care about is that just the amount of propaganda and brainwashing that is always, like, we are bombarded with it constantly by not just the news media, but your friends and family, because they've all been bombarded with the same information. It creates more of a divide and division than it should. And that's why Alex Jones is in the news and currently being sued for his allegations that Sandy Hook school shooting back in, here's my note card. Sandy Hook school shooting, which occurred December 14th of 2012 in Newtown, Connecticut. Not that reading that. Perpetrated by 20-year-old, allegedly, depending on if you're going with the Sandy hoax. But this shooting was perpetrated allegedly by 20-year-old Adam Lanza, who shot and killed 26 people. 20 of the victims were children ages 6 to 7. That's shit. So regardless of that actually happened, but Alex Jones got in hot water because he was saying that it was a false flag completely. That Sandy Hook school shooting didn't even happen. Those kids didn't even exist. So he's been in court now. Again, this is after January 6th, and they tried to pin all that crap on him, that he instigated it when he was actually trying to keep people from actually going into go and storm the Capitol. He was trying to stop that from happening. But that doesn't follow the narrative. So they kind of dropped Alex Jones from the January 6th conversation.
Yeah.
So, but now, again, he's in court facing defamation lawsuits from not only the parents, but here's the deep state situation. Alex Jones, conspiracy theorist supreme. I love that.
He's the fucking chief officer.
He is the CF motherfucking O, the chief fucking officer.
Yes.
Of conspiracy theories. Alex Jones testifies that the FBI is behind the Sandy Hook school shooting defamation lawsuit. Now, he didn't actually say it, but he had on his website, Infowars.com, which if you want to go down some crazy, cuckoo, conservative rabbit holes, by all means, go there. If you want to go down all the crazy rabbit holes, go to BitChute. But Alex Jones, but facing this defamation lawsuit, it's an FBI agent, Bill Aldenberg, who's one of the plaintiffs in this case against Jones, though the government is not a party to the suit. So although this guy is there in his official capacity as an FBI agent, he is there as a citizen that just happens to be an FBI agent suing another citizen.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, just to interject a little bit. I mean, smells like shit.
Smells like shit.
Smells like a little shit.
Yes, it does. And again, I'm not saying I'm not agreeing with Mr. Alex Jones on the Sandy Hook, but they had a great
Jones and me.
While he was on the stand, attorney Chris Mattei quoted from Jones's website that FBI sues Alex Jones to destroy the First Amendment. Now, basically, that statement says that if you make a false claim, that you can actually be sued for slander and defamation, which is already like, because of this case is going on and on and on, with multiple lawsuits against Alex Jones because of the Sandy Hook hoax that he was peddling.
Right.
Again, that's an effective way to stifle the First Amendment, because they're basically saying that, well, they're not saying that you can't say it, but they're saying that there are extremely expensive repercussions,
Right.
to saying whatever wild and crazy shit you want to say,
Yeah.
about certain individuals. So this attorney kept going on with, while questioning Alex Jones while he was on the stand, said, "You know the FBI hasn't sued you." And Jones replies with, "I mean, I think that's a point of view. I actually agree with that." So Alex Jones is literally on the stand in a defamation lawsuit saying, "No, the FBI totes in on this.
Yeah.
The FBI is behind this. They're pushing it." I'm just going, as I'm
He's
reading this
just
article,
he's fucking balancing that schizophrenic line like this right here. It's like,
Yeah, well,
am I
it's-
schizo or
it's-
am I correct? I don't know.
there's a reason that he's the conspiracy theorist supreme.
Yeah.
There's a reason
Right.
that title, he is deserving of that title, is because he's feeding his little baby birds.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think of his thoughts, his theories, which again, he's been right way more than he's been wrong on a lot of this crap. But because he's also a conservative, he's going to be demonized by the majority of the media. And then Fox News is smart enough to not even touch him. But it's just great that he's just feeding his conspiracy theory nommers, like his fan base.
Yeah.
I will go as far as to say his flock, because I mean, it's almost, some conspiracy theorists are more passionate about the hunting down of these conspiracies than they are about religion.
Right. Something people at home might know that I thought about this. I find interesting. I wonder, you may know this too. Has Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is actually in a bunch of friend circles with a bunch of comedians, obviously Rogan and some Tim Dillon and some of the others. Obviously they don't all agree on everything, but they recognize the need for the conversation. But platforms such as Rogan are so large now that they have more viewers than networks. So, easily. So I would be suspicious if they would drag, this whole suppression of the First Amendment, if it would drag, the Joe Rogan experience into it, if he's ever even spoken openly about this theory on that podcast or even hinted at it.
No, he hasn't done
yet.
that. And actually, Alex Jones has since admitted that he was wrong I think he did it on the Joe Rogan podcast. And when he was on Joe Rogan, I think this was probably over a year ago. It was probably during the lockdown, during the pandemic. I'm sorry, pandemic. I didn't say pandemic.
Fucking right winger, you fucking honky.
Okay, no, but when he was on Rogan was literally had his what's his producer? His producer's name?
Red Band?
Not Red Band. No, the Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. Yeah.
He had young Jamie literally fact checking everything Alex Jones was saying, and they're trying to turn the frogs gay.
Yeah,
and it actually turns out that they're not trying to do it, but it's a byproduct of some. It is happening. But I just think it's hilarious that again, Alex Jones is in a defamation lawsuit with an FBI agent suing him for slander, and he's just going, "Yeah, no, the FBI is totally behind this. I stand by that."
Yeah.
And this attorney is just like, "I asked you if your testimony that the FBI is suing you in this case, is that your testimony?" And Jones replies with, I mean, I think this is a deep state situation.
That's his.
And I'm just
That's
like-
his words.
Yes, that's his. Like, he is quoted as saying that. There's a video of him saying.
Well, I mean, I guess it should
on the
be no
stand.
surprise. I mean, the entire thing is a deep state situation to him. But it's interesting that he's admitted that he's admitted to being wrong, but not really. You know what I mean? It's like it's like he flirted with the idea of being wrong if it meant that people would go away. But
here's the problem with once you get too deep into the conspiracy theories or that culture of conspiracy or the cult of conspiracy theories, depending on how deep you fall into that category, you start seeing everything as being a potential conspiracy.
yeah, it's the same way. Like if you buy a certain car and then you see that car everywhere on the road, same exact thing, just made a lot bigger.
Yes. However, if you actually break it down, though, the CIA has actually, like, it's documented that CIA, and I'm sure the FBI as well, have gone out of their way to actually put out tons and tons of disinformation and fake conspiracy theories to make people sound crazier and crazier, as some of these conspiracy theories have turned out to be true.
Well, yeah, because I mean, of course, because I mean, the idea that all you need is a little confusion or all you need is a little doubt. That is so fucking true. All you need is a little doubt. It goes a long way. So
Also, when you insinuate that somebody that believes in a conspiracy theory or conspiracy theories in general, you automatically get lumped, like visually, you would lump somebody in to a category like, flat earther or the Sandy hoax, 9/11 truthers, which again, I haven't.
hey, we stayed up on BitChute one night. You remember that?
Dave Von Kleist.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes. That guy's a fucking legend.
That dude is a fucking legend. But I'm just looking at this going, these people that espouse conspiracy theories, like they are looked at as being crazy, and crazy people are something that we've been trained to fear. So,
well, yeah,
even if somebody like Alex Jones has a true, like his conspiracy theory end up being accurate and provable, people still look at him like he's a wacko.
right.
And his persona doesn't help the situation either.
No,
because
and
you can get emotional, you can be passionate about something, but you don't have to go, oh my God, turn to the far sky.
yeah, because
When
people
you
don't tune into
you're-
that.
you're- well, a lot of people, they want to see that fire. This is why, like, Southern Baptist preachers, a lot of them, and I'm not knocking on them. I'm just saying this is an effective technique to preach and get your point across, is when you show that passion. So it's the fire and brimstone sermons that actually serve to actually bring in more people,
Right.
because it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining, and also it if you're not paying attention to your own self, if you're not being mindful of your own thoughts and stuff, you'll go into, it's the same reason, like there's a lot of things involved in that. It's like people may not like that vibration. People don't like that fight or flight. People are not there yet. People are not willing to go there. So in order to prove merit to your theory or whatever, you got to meet people. You got to meet people.
You got to play just the tip.
You got to start with just the tip.
You can't just ram it in dry.
No, everyone knows that.
You got to take a little bit, then just the tip, and then the whole conspiracy.
And then there it is. And then hell, they might get lit up with you. You never know. But it is a giant dumpster fire though, and I do think it's interesting to a lot of people. Really sad for the families. The whole thing is already sad. We can at least say that it's just sad that just sad that it's,
whether or not Adam Lanza acted on his own, whether or not he was a CIA MK Ultra person, maybe he was part of a team. I don't know. I'm not gonna debate that. I'm gonna
say this.
I think it's amusing that he's still, like, this is still like a major news story.
Right. Yeah, it is. And
because every time, like, if you want to, like, they keep talking about Donald Trump and January 6th because they don't want him to run in 2024. I get it. Whatever. But when you nobody wants Alex Jones to continue with his programming or his website. So why would you platform him? Because anybody that supports Alex Jones is going to see this and go, "This is the deep state trying to take Alex Jones out again."
Is the people don't know what they're doing.
Well, I mean, they knew what they're doing because it's clickbait. Because I clicked on it.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's that element to it. So it's like
they got that ad money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought the deep state situation. Again, little touch on the conspiracy side.
Yeah.
But really, it's just
you had to.
I'm way more into the conspiracy stuff than you are, but also it's just you had this extremely conservative individual that has conspiracy theories about human trafficking and child pedophile rings, and whether or not any of these are true and provable. Yeah, I don't know, but why would you keep platforming him and advertising? It's free advertising for Infowars.com and for Alex Jones.
Exactly. And it's also, it's the same thing. The media and fucking Saturday Night Live and all those fuckers, they've missed the hell out of Trump, and they need another Muppet to, be the new, it's so easy, to just pick a Muppet kind of cartoon character like that and run with it because it's so good.
I feel, oh my God. You said Muppet and Trump, and I'm just thinking like his wig.
He looks like
somebody
Muppet.
needs to, like, there needs to be an animatronic mouth so that like whenever Trump starts talking, his hair's just like, look, I told you already, you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Don't give NBC
Stop tweeting.
any good ideas for a new sketch. Because I think they're running dry over there.
There you go, SNL. If anybody sees this and knows anybody that works on SNL, one of the writers that they can't write for shit anymore.
The show is not funny.
Well, they're scared. They're scared to offend people, and I get that. But comedy's supposed to be mildly abrasive, maybe even outright offensive. Because if we can't learn to laugh at the horrible things in life, then they're just gonna crush us. So get the fuck over it.
Get over it, bitches.
So. Moving right along, if you have anything, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any other brain ticklers?
I've got one, but it's super dark, and I don't really want to share it. It's for the people at home. Just know that there was an effort made to have the Florida Man of the Week this week, and in your heart, just know there is a Florida Man of the Week out there, and he did something terrible. So we're not going to talk about it.
Well, we will preface that by saying don't worry so much about your electric bill. If you're worried about your electric bill to the point where you're going to actually potentially murder your family, maybe you need to take a time out and go to a mental institution.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's all we'll talk about.
You can look it up on your own. I don't want to be the reason that you had to hear it.
Yeah. We'll keep this one light.
Yeah, I think you got something cooking over there, don't you?
Oh, I've got a couple of things pulled up right now. So this isn't aliens. This has to do with NASA and space. So NASA is testing basically a planetary defense system. And
Planet Earth, baby, represent Planet Earth.
Number one in the universe.
The number one.
So far, as far as we know, I mean, the government's obviously lying to us about aliens, but NASA spacecraft crashes into asteroid in defense test. So NASA's testing this planetary defense style system in the probability or the eventuality that is an asteroid or meteor taken out. This is Earth, meteor, bam.
So the crash was intentional and it did what it's supposed to do?
Yes, the crash was intentional. Cape Canaveral, Florida, a NASA spacecraft rammed an asteroid at blistering speed Monday in an unprecedented dress rehearsal for the day a killer rock menaces Earth. This writing is epic, by the way. This is APnews.com. The galactic slam occurred at a harmless asteroid 7 million miles away with a spacecraft named DART plowing in.
Hey,
Plowing into the space rock at 14,000 miles per hour. Scientists expected the impact to carve out a crater, hurl streams of rocks and dirt into space, and, most importantly, alter the asteroid's orbit. So telescopes around the world and in space aimed at the same point in the sky captured the spectacle. Though the impact was immediately obvious, DART's radio signal abruptly ceased. It will take as long as a couple of months to determine how much of the asteroid's path was changed. Now, here's the important part that they don't put in the headline, but this $325 million mission was the first attempt to shift the position of an asteroid or any other natural object in space. As far as we can tell, our first planetary defense test was a success. Adams told news conference the blah, 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 blah with applause. I think Earthlings, and I think it's cute that this NASA guy called people Earthlings. I think Earthlings should sleep better. Definitely, I will. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson reminded people earlier in the day via Twitter, because, why use, Twitter's great, but they should just reserve Twitter for, political figures, news media outlets. People need to stop being able to just talk shit to each other. Let's get news information via Twitter. Can we just do that from now on? So this NASA asshat, I'm sorry, Bill Nelson reminded people on Twitter. He said, "No, this is not a movie plot." He added in a pre-recorded video, "We've all seen it in movies like Armageddon, but the real life stakes are high." So they rammed into this asteroid named Dimorphos, Greek for twin,
named it
a fast spinning asteroid. Blah, blah,
How
blah, blah,
long?
blah.
And that's super cool, and it does kind of that's a real solution potentially to a real problem maybe. But I'm wondering, just like all the other nerds who really dig beyond in science and innovate, it's only a matter of fucking time before we take fucking space station out with that thing or something. Wait till we'll be able to at least add it as a potential feature to a military plan. Hey, by the way, also we could do this.
So here's a fun fact. So they were the target. This Dimorphos, the asteroid named Dimorphos, was 520 foot. 525 feet. But the dart that slammed into it, the man-made dart, was vending machine sized.
Really? And it exploded.
Yes.
Holy shit. What?
And they launched it last November, so it took almost a year to traverse to its target.
Wow. I'm curious.
That's wild.
I'm curious if was it rigged with explosives and it's just gone now?
They didn't say anything about it. Once it crashed into it, I think the purpose of it is, general, basically physics. So an object in motion tends to stay in motion unless something interferes with that motion.
It's almost like it batted it away?
Well, just if you hit it at a certain angle, if you hit it at a certain angle, and again, there's no gravity. There are gravity wells in space, but there's nothing it doesn't take much to push something out of orbit.
Yeah.
So that it would maybe skirt around a planet or a moon or, again, the Earth.
Yeah. So there's some level of precision involved here.
There's definitely a high level of precision, because you're talking about an object, an asteroid. Well, it says asteroid. So maybe it was a fast spinning asteroid, 5 times bigger, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not seeing anything that says that it was was it in orbit around something? I'm not seeing anything about that.
You know what would be crazy? It's almost like the scenario, like if you're trying to cut down a tree and then it falls the wrong way. Like, oh, shit.
And now we're
fuck. No.
and now, oh damn it!
Oh
Damn
man,
it,
we just
damn it.
destroyed Puerto Rico. Fuck. Oops.
Oh, what are the Clintons gonna do to launder their money now?
Yeah.
Oh damn it! Puerto Rico's gone. There's another conspiracy
Epstein's
theory.
Island's gone. That's the only thing gone. Oh no! And it just so happened we just relocated a shitload of evidence there. What the hell?
Oops. Okay, so yeah, but no, that's you know, depending on your thoughts on aliens, this is a planetary defense test. If there's the motherships coming down, if we can predict where it's going to be, we can just shoot vending machines at it. Pepsi machines, Coke machines.
Well, the thing is, we have to have some kind of arsenal, and depending on how expensive that is, you know, maybe
Again,
something. Give something Elon to do. He'll do that. Like crazy kid in the corner.
Again, this project cost $325 million. Hey, to their credit, at least they hit the fucking thing.
No, it worked. Yeah.
Even if it doesn't move it far, if it moved it at all, they're just like, that's a win. That's a win. We did that.
Yeah.
Elon didn't do that. It was NASA. That was NASA.
Flat Earthers think we're crazy right now. They're like, listen now, NASA's a lie.
That's a great conspiracy.
Hey,
theory.
hey, I'm not kidding. I was on a job site a couple years ago, got cornered almost to the level where the man almost wanted to pick me up by my fucking shirt like that. Some old crazy fuck that was actually running some idiot running a little crew out there. And I don't even remember what sparked the conversation. How do you get to this? But we talked about flat Earth, and he was trying to show me all these videos and shit. And I was just like, man, I respect that's your opinion. I don't care. Just let me go on about my business. I guess he just thought, this is dumb kid. This would be
Look here, son. You're gonna believe in flat Earth before the end of this conversation. I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you.
He told me that God put two lights in the sky, two discs in the sky, the sun and the moon, which is all a fallacy. That's stupid anyways. With the sun is the moon's light, you dummy. But and then proceeds to tell me that NASA is just a giant dump for money. So
I mean,
and that's all.
That's not entirely.
It might be partially
inaccurate.
true, but it doesn't make the organization fake. Okay.
Yeah, no,
it's lazy.
no.
Grow up.
Even if the moon landing was faked.
Yeah, guy was just scared shitless, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm done with NASA's dart. But again, if aliens are gonna attack, at least we know we can hit a fast spinning object that's a really fucking long way off, because it took almost a year for our vending machine sized dart to get there.
Earth 1.
Boom.
Earth 1. Asteroid 0.
Earth 1. Asteroid 0.
We may have disturbed a civilization. They'd be like, what the? Because they might see that off in the distance, like, All right.
Well, hey, I'm thinking maybe butterfly effect, and maybe we actually caused
That's
a new species.
Yeah. We caused a big bang by that redirecting.
Well, I mean,
A little bang. Not
a
big.
vending machine size bang.
Well, no, because it'd be the asteroid size, depending on what it hits.
Oh, and with that segue, we are going to jump straight into.
Are you going where we had a
ramp it up for this.
Had a little chat about this, so I already know what's coming.
We're going to ramp up into company launches vagina flavored chips so millennials can get laid more. Labia Lays.
Just think about that.
Again, that's a missed opportunity
Labia Lays.
by Frito Lay. I mean, Labia Lays, labia flavored Lays. So this company launches vagina flavored chips so millennials can get laid.
Pause into proud to be an American. Even though they didn't come from
Proud
America,
to be
nothing else did.
Lithuanian
Yes.
is a Lithuanian-based company. So the tagline for it, and the brand of chips is called Chazz, Chazz kettle chips, and it is called Pussy Flavor.
I got to pull this
Limited
up.
edition. On the bag it says, and I'll bring that up in the screen now, but for the hot ones. And there's like this pinup girl, like instead of riding a rocket or a motorcycle, she's just sitting on top of a stack of chips.
So hot.
All bodies taste good. No preservatives. Yes, for sex. And on the box that the chips come in, it says, "Lose your virginity with Chazz pussy flavored kettle chips."
I love this
again,
much.
Keeping going. It's the perfect gift for millennials who lack a lot of, and this again is in quotes, lays.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that Frito-Lay might want to go ahead and sue the New York Post for actually making that awesome pun, because it is an awesome pun. But if they can't get it in the sack, they can get it in the snack. A chip company that purports to cater to sex-starved 30-somethings boasts a new flavor that supposedly tastes like a woman's vajayjay.
We got to do a
Have to
taste
taste-
test.
We need to see if we can get this imported from Lithuania.
We can.
Mm.
$10. I don't know what all.
$10 plus $150 in shipping.
But if
surely
you will have to pull up Google Translate because nothing's in English, so you won't understand if people at home want to go buy some of these. Which
I think we should.
I love the idea.
Me and you, Brain Snacks, we get together, we approach them to get a sponsorship.
Brain snacks,
We'll just
pussy
do that.
snacks.
Brain Snacks, pussy.
We are brothers. We were separated at birth. Understand me.
Okay. After tasting it, you will remember your wildest love adventures, your first real love, and maybe even lose your oral virginity. Reps for Chazz, the Lithuanian-based creators of the private parroting potato chips, claim on their site. Dubbed pussy-flavored potato chips, the kinky creations are inspired by a purported generation-wide sex drought among millennials who allegedly prefer perusing social media to getting saucy in the sack.
I think that's just evidence. That's what the evidence shows, but I don't think people actually want this. But I do think it's awesome, and I support.
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
Us.
I'm just quoting from the trial, the lawsuit trial that I just went over. My lawyer said that repeatedly.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Sustained.
But the point I want to make is that if you think you can't do something, take something like this. Take pussy chips. Take the most off the wall idea you have running around in your skull and just get a couple buddies together and just fucking do it. And get happy about it, and don't fucking quiet quit your job because you think that's a thing. That's not a thing. Pussy chips are a thing. Quiet quitting's not a thing, and it won't ever be. So, be
if you're in the quiet quitting mindset, just know that pussy flavored potato chips are a thing.
Yes.
Surely you have an idea that's at least slightly less asinine and disturbing than pussy flavored potato chips.
Yeah. And I mean, there's no reason for that negative self-talk anymore.
No.
There's no reason for that because I can just imagine how much fun the little punk ass kids inside of these adults that created these chips were having. Just knowing, just driving past a couple construction workers like, haha, we made pussy chips. And you're digging holes, man.
So yeah, this company is based in Lithuania. Again, link to the article in the description, and the fact that, just to credit your point a little bit more, I mean, this is
please.
This is an article from the New York Post, so this isn't like some obscure like random, tabloid magazine. No, this is the New York Post.
Yeah.
Respected.
Yeah.
Respected.
I mean, literally, like, the sky is the limit. So, and I like this company. The thing about it, though, is that this company will only be around for about 6 more months. So,
Well,
it's but if you make your money in that period, then it's a success. I mean, I would consider it already to be a success. I don't know how much money they've made, but you can't really put a price on memories. And this snack's going to make memories.
I'll point this out. Chazz chips. They actually this is like their obscure risque market branding, and maybe that's to promote their other chips and just to draw attention to their brand.
Oh, so they have other stuff.
Brilliant marketing strategy. Yeah, they have Christmas flavored cashews.
Okay, see.
Cannabis and jalapeno flavored. They also have mussels and white wine.
So see, we've got another strategy here, which is have something, because you had the crazy idea that you think, okay, that would be cool, or it's a little too wild, but you've also got the idea that's kind of a little more mundane and already been done, and you're wondering how to make it unique. So they've done that. They bridged that gap. They brought people to potato chips because too many people make them. So they figured out a way.
Okay, so
true pioneers.
I love the fact that this goes to like online shopping. So you're a Zoomer, 22 years old.
23, right? Man. I'm bigger than that.
I'm sorry. Damn it. Hey,
it's fine, dude. It's the same thing.
Well, okay. So 23 years old, regardless. But when you were in high school, did you go to the mall?
Not in the same way that
Not
90s
often.
kids did, but I did.
Okay.
I did. But there's not really many stores. I go to like Spencer's and that's it.
Well, that's okay. So your generation was probably the last one to experience Spencer's Gifts.
Yes.
Which Chazz pussy flavored chips would be in Spencer's.
Yeah.
That would be in the back section that you walk back there when you're like 13, 14 years old. You're just
and
like,
all the kids would buy them.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The lava lamps and the crazy moving pictures.
Yes. That's so spot on.
This should be,
and it's not
again.
It's actually not even that impractical because I know they have. I think they sell like now they sell. You've seen those wrap snacks, the chips that are like wrappers. Have you seen that? Like Cardi B chips. Like there's a whole line.
I bet that one tastes like ass.
I'm not kidding. Like
suck it, Cardi B.
All these rappers now have their own little like signature chip with wrap snacks, and they sell them like in like different areas. And I think that Spencer's actually carries them. So that would be, I mean, this is really so. Don't quiet quit. Don't accept that fate.
Yeah.
Get out there.
A wet ass pussy chip.
Yeah. Yes.
You see, Cardi B, she missed the bus on that one. When she released, she should have joined up with Chazz. When they released that single, WAP, and you got wet ass pussy, and she's like eating a bag of chips.
Yeah, it would be. It's I think timing. It's just the timing on that.
Again, her marketing has been epic because she's a talentless fucking hooker.
Whoa!
She's making money.
Come on now. Don't talk about our celebrities like that.
You want me to park this Big Mac truck right in your little garage? I'm sorry. I got like a Volkswagen Bug like that. I got a Big Mac truck. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I mean, I love that song, so. I listened to it.
The reasons you just keep making me question why I asked you to join this podcast.
Well, I mean, hey, if I could do something for your mind, give you a little mental exercise, then that's awesome.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Is there anything else we want to discuss today? Is there any other brain ticklers? Any other thing that we want? Any new brain pussy snacks?
I don't know, man. If you want to go get a fast food hamburger, go to Milo's. It's the best one.
Well, don't be a quiet quitter. I mean, you want the best example of quiet quitting? Just go order anything from McDonald's and say, I don't want this and I want extra this on it. And just prepared to be disappointed with your order. That's the epitome of quiet quitting, because it takes such little effort just to read a fucking screen that says no pickles, add mayo, and it's incapable of doing it. It's not that they're incapable, it's that they don't care. They're quiet quitters.
Quiet quitters. They don't understand. There are no small roles, just small actors.
There are no small roles, only small penises.
All right, guys. See you later.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are two inconsiderate assholes saying, don't be a quiet quitter. And pursue your dreams, even if that dream is a pussy-flavored potato chip.
I would say especially if it's this.
All the love in the world, guys. We
See
hope
ya.
y'all have a good day, a good week, and we will see you next Thursday for another fresh, tasty episode. Brain Snacks with Jaxon and Max. Love ya. We out.
Yeah.